All right, we're here with some community recordings because YouTube demands that I don't just do live streams. I apparently also need to record videos of things. Okay, I'll do that, I guess. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Here it is. Here's what's happening. So I'm gonna record games until I predict the winner at the start of the game, right, 2 times in a row. Alright, we're going to try that. So that, at least at a minimum, you get 2 games. I have a bunch of replays for my community. If you want me to cast your replays, put in my Discord. Under the replays for human, I think it's called. Anyway, if I get 2 in a row right, I'll end the video, and that'll be great, because I want to go to bed. So what do we have here? We have Saltier Than You on the Beastmen versus Cry is Free on the Vampire counts, and apparently the Wolf of Sigmar's playing Ark Survival Evolved. We have Torx the Brass Bull, Agor Bull, Bray Shaman of Wilds, Jabber Scythe with Centaurs with Throwing Axes on the side, paired with Great Weapons? Great Weapons. And Ungor Spearman Herds. Great Weapons are probably for Blood Knights. And then for Cry is Free, we have 3 zombies in the front line. Graveguard, Great Weapons, Graveguard, Great Weapons. So 4 Graveguard with Great Weapons. Manfred von Karstein in the sky. 2 White Kings, both with Scab Scraith. Dire Pack, Blood Knights, and Blood Knights. Okie dokie, looking at the builds, I am guessing it is going to be the Beastmen, because they have plenty of tools to deal with the Blood Knights. And the Jabber Scythe plus Torx can deal with a lot of the Graveguard. So, my money's on the Beastmen. But we will see. Really, the throwing axes have no bad targets besides zombies there. A very early breath attack from Cry is Free is largely dodged by Saltier Than You. So that's well played so far. But the vampire counts are just trying to advance without taking too much harassment from the throwing axes. They don't have any Mortis engines. They don't have any corpse carts with the unholy lodestone. You know, they don't have a lot of passive healing. So for once, they don't really want to grind this out. They just want to get in there and start fighting. Every moment that's delayed, they die a little bit, and they don't like that. And that is a Gaze of Nagash cast on an Ungor Spearman Herd. That or it was cast the Jabber Scythe and missed and just happened to hit the Ungor Spearman Herd. Either way, interesting stuff. Dire Pack's getting on top of the Centaurs with throwing axes. If they can catch up to them, they'll certainly do a lot of damage, because they're unbreakable anti-large units, and Centaurs with throwing axes aren't heavily armored, which is the only thing that Dire Pack can't really deal with. Here on the front line, Jabber Scythe is getting in, doing a bunch of work on some zombies along with its buddies, the Gore Bull and Torx the Brass Bull. And a Cygor summon comes in immediately. That might be a little aggressive with the Winds of Magic, but we'll see. Maybe the Cygor... Ooh, the Cygor will be good against Manfred if he can get on top of him in melee. Maybe it was summoned to try to deter him, but he didn't really care and dove in anyway. On the side, the Dire Pack did take out the Centaurs with Great Weapons. Wow! With the Blood Knight help, they destroyed those Centaurs with Great Weapons that were sent to save the Throwing Axes. Worthwhile trade, honestly. The Throwing Axes are a little more important to you in this matchup. Here we can see Manfred has not been having a good time with the Jabber Scythe, the Gore Bull, and maybe Torx even threw in a helping hand there. So he's down with about 1/3 of his health, but if he can get outside of this formation, which he is, he'll fly up, cast Invocations on himself, and be just fine. Bray Shaman of Wilds is not enjoying at all fighting White King and being surrounded by Great Weapons, while the Jabber Scythe does get on top of White King and then charges immediately into the Great Weapons. Now, Jabber Scythe's Mortis Engine effect relies on you having low leadership, which as undead, all of your units have very low leadership because they're supposed to be crumbling. So the Jabber Scythe might actually be a very good pick in this matchup. Beastmen Spearmen units are just trying to rally wherever they can, but they're mostly throwaway chaff units. I don't think Saltier Than You actually wanted them to do anything in this matchup. Meanwhile, Gore Bull is a little surrounded and left alone, but just as I say that, Torx jumps into his aid, doing a little somersault front flip there to try and get in there. But now the Gore Bull has been knocked away, and Torx is just 1v1ing Manfred, and that's going quite well. Manfred is a pretty shitty melee combatant. Jabber Scythe and the summoned Cygor are beating down some zombies in Graveguard. Not a big deal for them. This one, with double charge attack animations, just gets way out of that box of infantry and doesn't care. Did a lot of damage to some White Kings, though. Bray Shaman of Wild, I wonder if he can summon another Cygor before he gets routed again. I don't think Manfred's going to let him stay on this field for very much longer. Might want to, if you have the mana for it, pop it right now and get it over with. So Ungor Spearmen that could be rallied, but there's not too much they would do. They're just blockers that aren't blocking for anything. Blood Knights are getting kited by Centaurs with throwing axes and having a terrible time of that, and as we said, the Brave Shaman of Wilds is going to get punted by Manfred. So I don't think he'll be coming back. If Manfred can land some good attacks, he will be quite fine. Balance power is in the favor of the Beastmen just by a little bit. Torax and this Gorbel are having the time of their lives running from pocket of infantry to pocket of infantry, but it looks like now they are aiming for two specific infantry, being the White Kings, and Torax is not going to let them escape. Meanwhile, the Brave Shaman Wilds in the back does not shatter. It is still technically in it. I saw a miscast there. So Manfred miscast the Invocation of Nehek, upgraded on himself, but does, I mean, he's going to get the healing back from it. Jabberslythe is coming over to help Torax and this Gorbel get out of trouble, and another great charge animation from that thing. It really loves to knock infantry around. And it's Mortis engineering down these Blood Knights a little bit, but it seems Saltier than You is being very careful not to leave it at any one combat for too long, especially with all these elite Grave Guard running around. Centaurs with throwing axes still actually have a lot of ammunition for this point in the game, and one unit over here has been used to trap Manfred von Karstein, but maybe that isn't worth it, especially with these Blood Knights now jumping on top of you. Pinning Manfred down without anything to actually kill him is just kind of a waste of your throwing axes time, and now they are getting into a fight with a Blood Knight squad, and that's not going great for them. Another overcasted Invocation of Nehek does not catch this Blood Knight somehow, even though it was partially in the circle, but it does get that one. Balance of power is going pretty heavily into the Beastmen favor, though, as Torax has actually done pretty good this game. Torax and the Jabberslythe have both just been cycle-charging infantry all game, and it has been very, very nice to see. A Cygor is summoned with that Brave Shaman of Wilds rallying mana and just throwing into some Blood Knights to get some free value there, but with only Manfred and one unit of Graveguard, there's two more units of Graveguard with great weapons chasing, it looks like Ungor Spearmen off into the desert. Yeah, I was going to say, the bounce power should be even more favorable for the Beastmen. Manfred does get on top of Torax and gets a lot of damage on him, but Torax is no coward, and he is going to stand and fight Manfred, it appears. One unit of Blood Knights, I believe, has fully disintegrated away. The other one is awfully close to being finished off. Especially with some throwing axes coming in, we can see its leadership spikes down a lot, meaning it's going to crumble even faster, and soon it will disappear entirely, and that'll leave just a half-health unit of Graveguard, a quarter-health unit of Graveguard, and a healing-capped Manfred versus all of this Beastmen muscle. And it is looking to be the end. I don't want to fast forward. There we go. Just normal fast forward. Manfred's trying to dodge some shots. Graveguard are trying to come in. The Cygor did unsummon, did disintegrate away. And the balance of power without it comes right back to middle, but I think that's being a little optimistic of Manfred's chances. But that being said, the Beastmen do have low leadership, and he is a big terror-causing monster. So it doesn't matter if they can do it, if they don't believe they can do it, I suppose. Graveguard with great weapons getting right in on top of the Graveguard, and a Devolve lowering his melee attack. What is it now? It looks like about 22. That is going to be pretty abysmal. And with a Doom Bull, I keep doing that. A Gorbel, Torax, and a Jabberslythe on top of him, Manfred gets worked on. And cycle charging from these Centaurs has crumbled away the Graveguard with great weapons. GG well played to Saltier Than You. Nice 8-minute game. And that is one prediction right for me. Hope I get the next one right. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Torax getting 3,000 value is very good. Gorbel getting about 1,800, Jabberslythe 2,500, and then throwing axes largely paying for themselves. One of them got 2,000, that's actually pretty nuts, and another great weapon got a lot of value too. Manfred did fine. White Kings paid for themselves, which is, good for them. Graveguard struggled. I think they would have done well against Bestigors or something, but there wasn't really a lot of armor here for them to slap down. But a good game between them. Boop. Okay, and then we'll go replay to watch one. We have Artisan Tech Priest West versus XMT Way. Bretonia versus Skaven. Alright. We have XMT Way on Ikit Claw. Okay. 4 Rat Ogres, Ikit Claw, Packmaster on a Brood Horror, 2 Wolf Rats. Are you the poison ones? Magic damage. Not even the poison Wolf Rats, In the backfield, we have more magic damage Wolf Rats and more. So no poison mixed in at all. Ashen Triads and Warp Grinders. Warp Grinders and Ashen Triads. Now what do we have? Skaven Slaves down the middle. 4 Rat Ogres. Icket Claw. Huh. That is an interesting build. It's a very interesting build. We have, on the other side, we have 2 Knights Errant, some Mounted Yeomen just to chase off routing units, 2 more Knights Errant. So 4 Knights Errant, 3 Mounted Yeomen. Peasant Bowmen, would you tell me if they had pox arrows? Doesn't look like they do. Alright, so 5 basic Peasant Bowmen, and then some Men-at-Arms with shields and without mixed in. Paladin in the sky with King Lewin they incur, and in the back a Damsel of Beasts with Curse of Onrir and Wissen's Wild Form? Huh. No Manticore. I mean, I guess it got kind of nerfed, but still, damn. Interesting, interesting. So who's going to win? Those archers will be exceptionally good against Rat Ogres. All this cav, sure there are 2 Ashen Triads, but I don't think the Wolf Rats can really take them down. No Poison Wind. I'm going to bet on Bretonia. I'll bet on Bretonia for this. Quick little fast forward just as the front lines meet. Alright. So archers are firing in. They should get right on top of the Rat Ogres. I know they're probably at fire at will, and that's why they hit Skaven Slaves, but they do need to refocus to fire very quickly onto the Rat Ogres. Knights Errant need to avoid this Warp Grinder lockdown with Ashen Triads behind it, but we'll see. As Knights Errant are going to get a side charge onto Rat Ogres, but since they're not Knights of the Realm, that's really not going to do that much damage. I think they're just trying to leadership shock them out of the fight, which is, you know, decent strat against Skaven. But unfortunately for the Bretonian player, there are Wolf Rats behind you, and they are coming, and they're going to get the Damsel of Beasts very quickly. Ooh, and that is going to be a tough catch there. Artisan Tech Priest is in a little bit of trouble right away, but the Paladin and Lewin are diving in on top of Icket Claw, and the Packmaster getting a nice rear charge on him with this Sword of Crone. You can see that little guy is already terrified of what's going on there. Not literally terror routing, mind you, because he does cause terror, therefore immune to psychology. But the Bretonians have won the frontline fight, but they don't have a lot to follow it up with. If they could have chased this whole pocket off the field, maybe that would be better for them, but it looks like the Skaven are rallying in the backfield, and the Bretonians have taken a lot of damage on the advance. Wolf Rats have clearly gotten their value, taking out the Damsel of Beasts and a couple unit of archers. Very, very nice stuff from them. What's going on here? The Mounted Yeomen are getting messed up while King Lewin and the Paladin are doing the work of the gods against the Packmaster, who is now running, and Icket Claw's also running. So this is a very shock-heavy game so far. Everybody's taking tons of damage, but it looks to me like the Bretonians are coming out a little worse for wear. The Bretonian hero and lord combo there is doing well, but everything else is about out of juice. As we can see, are those Knights of the Realm that are routing that early? No. Mounted Yeomen are routing in the distance. Even without Poison Wind, these Armored Knights are having a tough time. Some really good dog play from Way here. Really nice stuff sneaking up on that Bretonian archer line. And oh, a nice Scorch coming down, taking out about half health from those Peasant Bowmen, but more importantly, definitely going to rout them off. And that is very nice. Now with Lewin and the Paladin, the balance of power is looking okay, but I don't know if it will be okay. That being said, Rat Ogres are kind of crap in combat with a large terror-causing monster. And your Packmaster is going to get routed off here pretty soon. Never mind, Lewin and the Paladin turn away. Still, there's not a lot of single-target anti-large going on with the Skaven army. I think that Way is going to try to rely more on army losses than actually grinding down Lewin to win this out. So you can see this Rat Ogre's damage, this Rat Ogre's damage. That one's okay, but these two would definitely terror out pretty quickly into their engagement with Lewin. Wolf Rats are notorious cowards, so they would too. Maybe if Lewin jumps down to some Ashen Triads, he would be in trouble, but otherwise I think he can take this whole army if he doesn't break. Especially with a Paladin giving him Guardian right by his side. Now I bet they wish they still had that Beast Caster to cast Curse on Rear, or Wissen's Wild Form, or anything like that to help him out with this fight. But we will see. Lewin has finally caught up with the Skaven force, but I don't know exactly what he intends to do. Are they going to just try to dive onto Icket Claw here? Ooh, okay. Unfortunately, they both missed their charge, and are they going to get Howling Warp Guild? No, it's something else. What was that? Oh, Curse of Unwritten... Whoa, wait, how? Did she come back? No way she came back! Oh, that's cool. Alright, I missed that. The Damsel of Beasts is back, and she was about to get run down by a Packmaster and murdered. But still, she was back for a little bit. So we can see here a full health unit of Wolf Rats just terror routing off, because of course they did. Ishin Triads right behind Lewin, though, is going to be very good for them. Is that the Lion Shield? Oh, it's the Sword of Corone. Sword of Corone coming down, nerfing all these guys even more. Their leadership is wavering a little bit, but Lewin was getting worked on by all those Triads and Rat Ogres. Over here, the Paladin's also going to try to pull out the other side, but it looks like he is getting trapped up a bit. There's a cluster of Bretonnian units that were trying to rally here, but it looks like Eka Claw's just going to roll in and rout them all off with the help of the Packmaster, who is now trying to sprint over and stop Lewin from escaping all these Rat Ogres. Which he does do, and the Eshin Triads can continue to sunder his armor down to only 45, and that will make him quite squishy. Quite squishy indeed. Nice armor sundering, you crazy little rats. And with that, army losses is going to come in, and I am wrong about who is going to win the game. So that's a shame. Packmaster and Ikit doing quite well. Warp Grinders did fine as support units. Triads did well. Dogs did just fine. And Rat Ogres didn't quite pay for themselves, but they weren't dead either. Lewin did okay. The Damsel got mostly locked down. Paladin did not great, considering how much he cost on his Pegasus. Probably about 1,100 or so. And a lot of the Knights got shut down pretty quick. One got its value back, but the others struggled pretty hard. Okie dokie. So I need to get 2 in a row right to end this video, don't I? Alright, we have Jay Phoenix on the High Elves versus Saltier Than You on the Beastmen. 4 Shadow Warriors, 2 Dragon Princes, 2 Rangers, 2 Phoenix Guard, a Lethanar, and a Life Mage. Versus Torix the Brass Bull, a Shaman of, I think, Wilds, another Gore Bull. Yeah, it's a Shaman of Wilds. A bunch of Gore Herds with shields, it looks like. Destroyers of Drakwold, Centaurs with great weapons, Razor Gore Herds, Into the Sunset, more Centaurs. Yeah, so this is just a rush. This is just a straight up Beastman rush. And with Lethanar and all these Shadow Warriors to kite, some Rangers, some Dragon Princes and such. I mean, it looks to me like they'll get run over pretty quickly. Maybe the Dragon Princes can do something. Are these Centaurs with great weapons? They are with great weapons. Tough one to call. If I just base it off the builds, I would give the Beastmen a distinct advantage, so I'm going to go for them. But we will see. The Beastmen should largely be advancing. And pushing deeply in. Good job ignoring the fake Lethanar. I mean, it's pretty obvious he's fake, but still it can be easy if you're zoomed out to just click micro on that guy. So, ooh, these Centaurs with great weapons have taken a ton of damage. Otherwise, the Beastman advance has been largely unperturbed, especially with Gore Herds with shields. I think the High Elves will actually just blow all their ammo into them. You can see that Shadow Warriors are already down about a quarter of their ammo, and they've barely done anything to this force. So Jay will have to be careful with her usage of ammunition, so that she doesn't run out. The 2 Phoenix Guard are actually going to be a bit of a problem. Maybe if Razor Gores get on top of them, they'll be worked down a bit, but they'll need some Gore Herd support. And what's being cast right here? What is that? That is a Dwellers Below. A little ambitious to try to catch those guys. The Razor Gores have gotten on top of the Phoenix Guard, but they are just getting cut down from the effort. Oh boy. That is a little bit rough. But in the backfield here, the Beastman mobility is behind the Shadow Warriors and should be able to move in. There are only 2 Dragon Princes to try and zone them off. And it looks like the Dragon Princes are being used to charge elsewhere. Those Phoenix Guard are really proving to be a bit of a pickle, though. They are killing a ton of Razor Gores right now, and that is not great. Over here, the real Lethanar is getting worked on by Doombull and Gorebull. And we can see the Razor Gore Herds and Dogs. Oh, they're almost atop those Shadow Warriors, and then they kind of drop attack orders, but they do get new ones, so they will get in there just fine. The frontline fight is largely going to the Beastmen, and it looks like the backline fight is going to the Beastmen. Exactly what their rush is supposed to be doing. Their Shaman of Wilds does not have any summons as far as I can see, so don't have to worry about another Cygor popping out in the middle. But oh wow, that Doombull just did a ton of damage to a Lethanar there. And did he shatter? No, he is just routed for now. Dragon Princes are getting worn down. Archers are also getting worn down as they are completely collapsed on all sides. But the Phoenix Guard are holding, but I don't think they're holding well enough to carry Jay through this game. Doombull is trying to finish off Alethanar, kind of doing some weird attack animations running around, and it will be a Beastmen victory. So that was just, you know, kind of a counter-build situation where the High Elves wanted to kite and had a lot to defend, and the Beastmen were just faster and they had more things to throw at them. So, it's a tough one to win in that situation. Yeah, Lethanar struggling. One of the Phoenix Guard got like 1,000 value though, so that's pretty cool. Alright, I got one again. So if we get this next one right, I could quit and go to bed. J Phoenix High Elves versus Salty the new Beastmen, and we just watched one like that. Ooh, Empire versus Beastmen. I'll watch that. I literally went through and just saved all the replays that were in the Discord folder I mentioned, so apparently Saltier Than You and Jay had a bit of a back and forth. Okay, what's going on? Slow motion for me, please. We have Outriders with grenade launchers, 2 Outriders with grenade launchers, 1 normal Outrider, 3 Empire Knights, Spearmen and Flagellant and Sigmar Sons frontline. No Halberdiers, and in the sky, if we're in the sky, I think we got Gelt. Gelt with Plague of Rust and Glittering Robe. Very interesting. I wonder why anything needs more armor in this. And then 2 Empire Captains. That is a very unique Empire build. Okie dokie. What do we got for Salty? Salty has Chaos Warhounds with Poison, Centigores, 2 Razorgore herds on this side. I'm guessing it's the exact opposite on the other side. Correct. So again, a very heavy cav / you know, war dog presence. Ungor Spearman herds are their only front line, interesting enough, with 5 raiders. So kind of a pseudo kite build from the Beastmen here. Feral Manticore, a Bray Shaman of Wilds, and Torax the Brass Bull. Oh, 2 Feral Manticores. Huh. Who to give it to? I should make my decision before this gets too far along. I'm gonna say the Empire got this. Yeah, the Empire got this. They're gonna take a lot of losses early, but eventually this giant core of infantry and these heavy cav are gonna be too hard for the Beastmen to take down because their Centigores don't have great weapons. Yeah, Centigores don't have great weapons. The Razorgores will get trapped up in infantry a little bit, and I think the Outriders with grenade launchers will be able to help clear out some of these cav. So I'm going with Empire. Let's do this. Ooh, that Feral Manticore went straight past the front line, is getting onto some Outriders with grenade launchers, but it should be charged in the back by 2 Empire Captains, so I actually think this will turn out to be a good trade for the Empire, because they can definitely trade him off. You can see he's immediately rampaging and routed. If one of those Empire Captains just follows him off the map, or even tasks these Empire Knights to do it or something, and the other 2 Empire Captains go after that other Feral Manticore, that'll be very good. Now here, Torax is in the middle of these Flagellants and loving his life. Balthazar, you gotta get moving, my dude. You cannot be there while that guy is right there. And what has happened to him? We have Devolve. It's just trying to slow him down a little bit, let this thing catch up to him, but the 2 Empire Captains are here again to fight with that Feral Manticore. Now these Spearmen are getting rode down by all these Razorgores, but they are pushing away some Archers that are now getting grenaded in the back as they run. So these Spearmen are dying for the glory of Sigmar indeed. This Feral Manticore is getting beat up in the sky by these 2 Empire Captains and Gelt, but unfortunately for Jay, this one has rallied. Little tricky there. Ungor Spearmen fighting Spearmen along with Razorgores, but it does look like these Ungor Raiders will quickly be compromised by a different unit of Spearmen. And I think Jay really does have to chase off these Feral Manticores. These Empire Captains can't keep picking fights with full leadership ones. But I guess, you know, you do have to defend your Outriders with grenade launchers. They're your only real killing power against a lot of what's going on around here. Spearmen are getting rear charged by Centigores and Chaos Warhounds, but Empire Knights get a great countercharge and might rout off those Warhounds as well. In the back, Empire Knights are fighting Centigores and Warhounds, and I think they might win even that 2v1 just because the Centigores have very little armor piercing. Double Empire captains with the help of grenade launchers are just murdering that Manticore. It is dead. It is dead and gone. Balance of power is going into the favor of the Beastmen, as the Empire front line is largely getting eviscerated by the Beastmen archers and Taurex, but the Manticores have largely been shut down, so those guys belong to the Empire. Maybe they could cycle charge and, take out Taurex? Maybe? I thought I saw a Plague of Rust or something coming down onto him, but it didn't ever come to fruition. And then Devolve Upgraded comes in and takes the Empire captains down to 26 melee attack, which is pretty pathetic, and now Taurex is running behind them and slapping them as they try to run. Over here we have some Outriders backfiring and Empire Knights charging into Ungor Raiders, but on the backfield Centaurs and Dogs are rallying, and I think they'll get right on top of these Outriders. If these state troops don't turn around and protect them, that will be pretty rough. Over here Empire Knights is into a stalemate, and it looks like the Empire is trying to rally as many troops as it can to the center engagement. But I think that might be a bit of a mistake, because if these Outriders die, which they currently are, nothing will be left alive to kill Taurex the Brass Bull. And that being said, I mean, this Empire Knight and Captain combo is trying its best, but he is given as good as he's getting. And that Empire Knight is in real trouble. Balthasar Gelt even rear charging in. Interesting stuff there. In the backfield here, we have one Spearman unit distracting 3 units of Beastmen, but they are rallying those archers over there, so that's not a bad trade for them at all. Some Outriders with grenade launchers are trying to free up these Empire Knights, who are, in their case, trying to kill all those Ungor Raiders, but it is surely a hard task, and the Outriders in the back that we mentioned have been routed off. Actually, yep, Outriders have been routed off, grenade launchers have also been routed, though they are not yet off the map. Taurex the Brass Bull is still fighting, still kicking tons of ass, and Gelt and his Empire Captain do need to get out of here and refresh their charge bonus, otherwise they're going to be in big trouble. Another Empire Captain coming down from the sky, trying to land a nice hit on the side there, but it looks like he misses. And it's just Gelt and his 2 Empire Captains are cycle charging as much as they can to get this bull down. And, ooh, 3 very nice hits coming in. Can they get one more on him? They got one more, but it didn't quite break him. Maybe, yes. If he breaks there, that could be a rallying point for the Empire. As you see, Beastmen leadership is wavering around the map. But a Feral Manticore comes in, stopping this Empire Captain up and trying to save Taurex. Now over here, the Empire Captain gets another great hit onto this Manticore. He has really been doing some work this game, but he routes as it dies. Something needs to get on Taurex, make sure he does not come back. But looking around the map, it looks like it might be too little too late for the Empire, as they are running out of steam. And I do believe... Oh, okay. I hit fast forward just as the game was called. And shit, I was wrong again. Empire Captains did do well. They got great value. I think... I like the tech with the Plague of Rust from Jay, but I think maybe Final Trans is still just better against factions like the Beastmen that really need their lords and heroes to be alive. Beastmen have pretty spread out value, but overall just did quite well. Well, shit. Okay. Let's go up here. Bob Tresh on the Lizardmen versus Saltooth and you on the Beastmen. Alright. Salty just submitted a ton of Beastmen content. So we're getting Beastmen today. Looks like Bob Tresh has a flying kite build on his end with a bunch of Jav Skinks, 4 Pterodons in the sky, Mazda Mundi on Zlak, and a Bastiladon with a solar engine, along with some Saurus Spears on the ground and 2 Feral Cold Ones to chase off things. For the Beastmen, we have 2 Harpies and Malagor with Dark Omen, 2 Gorbulls on the ground, 5 Ungor Raiders. I thought I saw a bunch of Gore herds and Ungor Spearman herds, and that I do. And Chaos Warhounds with Poison in the back, just in case you route something you can chase it. In this matchup, I'm going to favor the Lizardmen. There are a lot of infantry for them to cut through, but still going to favor the Lizardmen. With 4 rock drops, Bob Tresh is certainly a good Lizardman player. Certainly he can get... some good drops in there that'll take care of a lot of these infantry. Also, I said certainly too many times, and I'm sorry about that. Though we do have one Chameleon Skink cohort with... Skink cohort with Javelins extending a little too far and getting caught out here, but they will pull back and largely be just fine. Ooh, a beautiful Ruination of Cities on the back. Takes half health off one Ungor Raider and fully kills another. Then these Skink cohorts get on top of this one, too. Ooh, that is just good stuff. Meanwhile, the Bastillon with solar engines firing after the fleeing unit, maybe trying to shatter it, maybe just hasn't gotten new orders yet. Solar Spears are defending Mazdamundi quite well, but arrows are pouring in and trying to take him out. Pterodons need to kite away from these Harpies that are coming in for them, and I don't know what Bob Tresh can do about that. Ooh, that one is just getting torn apart by those Harpies. Maybe picked the wrong side here, but we will see as the Beastmen are off to an early balanced power lead. These skinks are trying to throw into the back of these gore herds, but it looks like they themselves are being flanked at the same time. But a nice Pterodon play comes down in the backfield to get on top of those archers and fully rout them off, while these Pterodons over here are making sure those archers don't come back. So Bob is definitely scrapping back, but it looks like double Gorbel will be on top of Mazdamundi now. And a nice diving animation in from the Beastmen, doing a ton of damage to him there. With a Cygor summon coming into Mazdamundi taking that much damage. Ooh, that's going to be a good banishment on that little grouped up Ungor Raider formation. That'll be very nice there. I bet they'll probably rout off from that. Feral Cold Ones get cold-blooded to stop rampaging, just so I was going to notice that they were rampaging at all. And I haven't seen any rock drops yet. Now, I could have missed them, but we could use them on some nice little clusters of infantry and see what happens there. But Bob Tresh is doing a good job routing off the Beastman backline and making sure it stays routing. That is very nice, but these double Gorbels staying right on top of Mazdamundi is certainly a problem for him. Fuck, I said certainly again. I am sorry. Two skinks are trying to fight a gore herd over there, and they are losing. Meanwhile, these skinks are rallying. I have to agree with the balance of power. I do think this situation is slightly Beastmen favored. As sure, they lost their whole back line, but their front line is winning so hard, who cares? And I don't think they'll have that many problems taking down all these Saurus. So, Mazdamundi overcasts a net to just try to give himself some room to escape, but Malagor, Dark Omen, might fly in and have something to say about that. Never mind, it's just going to fly over him. And we keep hearing net sounds over there because reasons. So some excellent Pterodon play in the back here from Bob Tresh. Just can't get over how nicely he has been routing off all those units. But we almost saw Ruination of Cities come in here. It would have been a good cast onto some Ungor Spearmen, but it looks like it got canceled, either by distance or by the potential threat of killing off his own Saurus Spears. At this point, the Cygor summons are a real problem for Bob. On the balance of power, they're certainly putting a thumb on the scale. And the sooner that these units actually get off the map, the sooner he can get his Pterodons back and try to rally this game a bit. One Gorbel is down to half health. Yeah, both are about half health, which is good for the Lizardmen, and Mazdamundi is rolling around wherever he wants to go. This solar engine has been surrounded by things since like the game started, and it's still just fighting away. Ooh, and we just saw attack orders from both Gorbels coming straight for him. I do not think he will live very long. What do Lizardmen have left? Some Feral Cold Ones, some Skinks that are out of ammunition, and Saurus. Once that Cygor fades, we'll have a better idea of how this game's going to go. But yeah, once the Gorbels finally got on top of that Bastillodon, it did get quite rough. Over here, these two Skinks managed to double team that Gore Herd and actually slowly take it out, which is nice. And what do the Beastmen have left? They have two Gorbels, they have Malagor. Everything else is so tattered, I don't know if it'll help too much. Some Gore Herds. What do the Beastmen have? Mazdamundi, two Saurus Spears at half health. I don't know, Lizardmen might actually have more left in this fight, because especially when the Cygor goes away, which he's got to be going soon. I'm kind of surprised Mazda didn't get more attacks off on Malagor there, but that's the luck of the draw there. Two Pterodons still running from some Harpies. Maybe if they teamed up on the Harpies, they could rout them off the map, and that would be very good, but seeing how they tore one apart earlier, I doubt it. Feral Cold One's getting on top of Gore Herds with shields, and these two Gorbels are now kind of facing the world. If I remember correct, Gorbels are not that great at clearing out mass amounts of infantry. Ooh, what's this coming in? Doom and Darkness upgraded. Minus 16 leadership is going to rout off this Saurus Spear. And this Saurus Spear should take a leadership debuff from Friend routing nearby. But Mazdamundi is nearby and he is not going anywhere. If he can kill one of these Gorbels, he can probably outduel the other, but if he stays in 2v1 combat for too long, that is going to be very bad for him. I wonder, does Bob have any rock drops left? Because this would be very useful about now. There's one unit of Pterodons that's trying to get over here and help out. There's a Ruination of Cities coming down that could clear out a lot of these Gore Herds, if it's lucky, but it goes all the wrong directions. Unfortunate stuff there. Mazdamundi is trying to cast a banishment as well, just get rid of all the chaff he can. And we have some Pterodons trying to charge in the back and free up Mazdamundi, but he is taking so much damage from those Gorbals. Apotheosis healing might keep the balance of power from army losses, but Harpies have gotten on top of these Pterodons, and you can just see they are going down very quickly. And I don't know what's left that can take out those two Gorbals. Mazdamundi if he gets lucky, but the 2v1s have not been going his way, and his healing cap's even coming in. That is tough stuff. The balance of power is pretty convinced the Beastmen are going to win it, and I might be inclined to agree. I might be inclined to agree. I forget if I voted for the Lizardmen or the Beastmen, but I think I voted for the Lizardmen. Which would probably make me wrong again. Another Apotheosis coming in. Alright, maybe Bob Tresh can pull it back with enough healing on Mazda, but he's just missing too many attacks in these Gorbals. He does need to hit them if he's going to win. The Gorbals are thinking about swinging, and yes, they do swing, taking Mazda down to 1400 health. If they swing again, oof, another 300 health off the top there. One more hit would probably do him in, but I think army losses is going to come in. Maybe before that? Maybe it'll just wait for the Gorbals to hit him. Are they faster? Yeah, they're faster than Mazdamundi. He's getting poked down by these little gore herds following him. Pterodons are desperately trying to get him out of there. Apotheosis again, really? What is the cooldown on that spell? That's getting crazy. Alright, the double Gorbals will fight all of these Pterodons. Their leadership is wavering as Mazdamundi gets a rear charge on them. Very nice stuff there. But it looks like they're holding hands in a pact to fight till the very end. And one of them swings at Mazdamundi, taking another 300 health off of him. Oh, 2 more hits, and there goes 600 health, and he is gone. And an excellent Doom and Darkness cast routes him off. Balance of power should really be army losses about now. And there it is. There it is. I am bad at this. I guess the lesson here is to stop rooting against, not rooting, but voting against the Beastmen. They're pretty strong. Oh, crap. Which one did we just watch? Oh, we watched that one. I'm an idiot. Oh, well. That's what the exit button's for. Quit replay. Boom. Done. Alright. Alright. So I gotta get 2 in a row. How many replays do I even have left? 4. Getting down to it. Getting down to it. Let's do Jay Phoenix and the Wood Elves versus Saltier Than You. And if you don't want to see so much Saltier Than You on this channel, send me some replays so I have someone else to cast. Triple Way Watcher, 2 Glade Riders with Spears, a Wild Rider, and I thought I saw Stag Knights. Wild Rider, it's Sisters of Thorn. Triple Way Watcher, 4 Dryads, Branch Wraith, and a Glade Lord on a Dragon. Versus Beastmen with the usual mix of Centaurs and Dogs that we've seen from Salty this whole time. Torax the Brass Bull, Bray Shaman of Death with only Spirit Leech, a Bray Shaman of Wild with, it looks like Traderkin and Bray Scream? What is that? A nice Breath Attack coming in on some Gore Herds, but Gore Herds kind of run in a weird staggered formation, so they don't take terrible damage, and that's also that spell was devolved. Smongor Raiders, Gore Herds, so just a nice push and kill build. I'm gonna not root, but I'm gonna bet that the Wood Elves win. Yeah, I'm gonna bet that the Wood Elves win. Triple Way Watcher should do a ton of damage to Torax. These infantry should just get kited. And I know I just told myself not to bet against the Beastmen, but here we are. So, I think the Wood Elves will take it, and ooh, I'm feeling good about my chances right now. Torax takes a huge blast to the face, goes down half health, and if the Way Watchers can get off another volley before he can move, he will definitely go. Oh, he has Brass Body. Okay, so he doesn't die, but oh boy, he's going down. And if he breaks here, he won't be able to dodge. But another volley's coming in. He doesn't have new attack orders yet. Oh god, and he runs, and I think he's shattered. Oh, he isn't shattered. Okay. So he might come back, but that is a tough time for the Beastmen there. Bray Shaman of Wild also overcasted, which is not ideal. Way Watchers firing into some Centaurs on the flank, doing quite well there, but Glade Riders with Spears and Wild Riders are already having a terrible time. So while the Way Watchers have gotten off to a good early start, the rest of the Wood Elf army is having a really bad time. Way Watchers are shooting into these Ungor Raiders, doing less damage than you'd think. And a nice breath attack comes in for the Glade Lord, but Might have done some damage to her own Wild Riders. Not super sure. Weight Watchers are trying to kite away from Blackhorn's Ravagers, spending a lot of ammunition in the process. And on the side here, the Wood Elves have won this flank, so that is good for them. This flank all kind of went to shit, and the front line went to shit. So they're relying on their Way Watchers and Dragon Lord to carry them through this, and so far that's looking okay. I mean, Torix had a terrible time of it, and an excellent cast from a Branch Wraith takes out a bunch of the Destroyers and a Gore Herd. I'd say the game is extremely even right now. While the Beastmen do look pretty tattered across the board, the Wood Elves do as well, and now their Way Watchers are running. Now they can run and shoot the whole time, but I think they might get eventually run down, like this unit over here you can see is getting fully surrounded. Meanwhile, this Glade Lord on a dragon is trying to rout off some of these archers and get some things going there for the Wood Elves. So we have two Bray Shamans, both relying on Winds of Magic to do anything particularly useful, because without Torix, they don't have anybody just to run around like a beat stick. But the Wood Elves are kind of in trouble. Ooh, okay, this could be interesting. Gore Herds here chasing off these Dryads is a good play. Definitely a good play from Salty. But if they get counter-routed, they will immediately run straight off the map, and that could be pretty bad. And it looks like that'll probably be what happens there. Blade Lord is running around here, trying to just rout off these Beastmen units. They're so low in leadership, I'm surprised they haven't terror-routed already. And ooh, the Glade Lord getting a nice dive-in onto that Bray Shaman of Death. Here we can see the balance of power is finally going into the favor of the Wood Elves for the first time this match, as the Way Watchers have a decent amount of ammunition, but they do have to fire it into utter crap. So I wonder if the balance of power will swing back to the middle as they run out of ammunition. Here, Centaurs are getting a side charge on these Way Watchers. These Way Watchers need to fire a volley into them to break them off before they hit, but they do not, and it looks like those Way Watchers will be caught. Over here, Dryads are getting worked on by, it looks like the double Bray Shaman and some Gore Herds, but a rear charge from a Glade Lord will probably take care of that blob with some terror routes, and healing coming in, apparently. Now, the Way Watchers are fighting in melee against two different Beastmen units, and everybody in this fight is really wounded, and everybody's really upset about being here, but the Way Watchers break first. And with that, the balance power swings massively back towards the middle for the Beastmen. And these Way Watchers are also caught, but they do have other Way Watchers supporting them and doing a lot of damage, so maybe they can hold on just long enough. This Glade Lord is getting shot with a bunch of arrows point blank range, and it looks like the Beastmen might be pulling this back into their favor. We'll see if that Branch Wraith can beat that Bray Shaman of Wild, and these Way Watchers, oh no, they stopped shooting at the dogs, and now the dogs are going to get on top of them. So two of the Way Watcher units have been routed. One is off the map. You can see the balance of power is now in the favor of the Beastmen. Branch Wraith is getting attacked by Ungor Raiders as it's trying to run away from this Bray Shaman of Wild. I think it's more trying to run into those Centaurs than it is trying to run away from the Bray Shaman. So this Glade Lord is trying to get on top of these archers along with these Dryads, stay in its little nest of support. And over here, some dogs are chasing these Way Watchers and still hanging on, still killing a lot of the Way Watchers. I wouldn't have been upset if the Glade Lord had gone over there and helped the Way Watchers instead. But I think that is going to be GG, and the Wood Elves will probably be done for this. That's a weird looking net. That's a weird looking net. The Way Watchers over here did manage to rout off those dogs, but Centaurs are going to get on top of them. The balance power is gone, and I was wrong again. God damn it. Fuck you, Beastmen. Okay. Don't bet against the Beastmen. Got it. Got it. Got it. Guilt. 2 Empire Captains. Same build. Looks like we have a run back. And the Beastmen have roughly the same build. Is this a run back, or did I not delete this? Hold on. If a Manticore runs in and gets like 2v1'd by... Okay, this is different. Same build, just different. In which case I'm going with the Beastmen. I'll learn my lesson, I promise. Okay, I'm going with the Beastmen. This Manticore is getting absolutely destroyed by those 2 Empire Captains, but Gelt is taking his fair share of damage from that one in the sky. It looks like Taurus the Brass Bull is getting in, and the Empire Infantry across the line is dying quite rapidly, except for this little flank where some archers got into melee combat. That's not ideal. Final Trance upgraded, just does a ton of damage on that flank. I do think that is a good spell to take here, but the Feral Manticore does manage to catch Gelt long enough to actually rout him. Maybe they'll rout him off the map. I don't know where these guys are going, but they do need to come back. So, if we look at it from this perspective, the left flank has gone very well for the Beastmen. The right flank has not. So they do need to push their advantage through here. Bray Shaman of Wild gets caught by the Sigmar Suns, and a ton of damage is going to come into him. This Fair Manticore is trying to chase Gelt off, but Gelt is faster, and he does actually manage to rally. And Gelt should be able to stay away from that for the time being. Looking right now, I would say the Empire is in control of this game, but it is very close. Torx is on top of the Sigmar Suns, and the Bray Shaman of Wild has been recovered, so that is very good. But this Manticore is going to get worked on by 2 captains, and dogs plus Centaurs are going to rout off that Empire Outrider with grenade launchers. Just everything's dying so quickly. Holy crap. Flagellants are getting worked down by a ton of arrows, but they're unbreakable, so they will fight to the very last. Ungor Spearmen are all having a terrible time. And Torx has just been fighting Sigmar Suns for a while, but I think he will need to stop that and get involved somewhere else pretty quickly. The other grenade launcher is at half health, plenty of ammunition, so it's largely been fine. This Outrider with just normal guns, I think needs to be shooting Torx and only Torx, because they're kind of the only thing that can deal with him. Maybe the double Empire captain, but Gelt has final trans. He doesn't have Plague Arrest, so I don't think that double Empire captain nonsense will work on Torx again, personally. Devolve is just lowering the speed of these Outriders so they can get caught by the dogs, and the dogs are going to poison them, reducing their speed even more, and they will break pretty quickly here. On the side, we have some Spearmen rallying, but just barely, and Flagellants are going to chase off Ungor Raiders, but the Empire is running out of meat. They're running out of bones to throw at this. Sigmar Suns are getting worked down by archers across the way, and Torx is still full health pretty much. Most of the skirmish cav have been shut down, and there's a full health unit of dogs and Centaurs here that they need to work together to take out those Empire Knights if they get caught. Because if either of them gets caught and they abandon them, I don't think that's worth it. That's going to be a terrible loss. Centaurs rallying on the backfield should probably go hit those Spearmen and just make sure they don't come back. And how's Torx doing? Torx is fighting 2 Empire captains and loving his life. Plague of Rust upgraded. I thought I checked. Oh, you do have it. Weird. Okay, I'm just an idiot. But he is slapping the absolute crap out of them, and it looks like Traderkin Upgraded is going to come in and just rout off 1 Empire captain. Torx is still fighting the other. If he turns around and just smacks Gelt in the face, that will be GG. And we see the Empire crumbling away, and I am not happy to see the Beastmen keep winning, but I am happy to finally be on the winning side. Okay, 1. I can do this. I can predict the next one correctly and be done. I want to go to bed. It's been so long. Torx did great. Wilds did great. Archers did fine. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Centaurs did 1,000. Good for you. Good for you. Gelt did fine. Empire captains did fine. I really do like the double Empire captain tech. It's pretty cool. Alright, yeah. Everything did fine. Everything did fine. That was 3? No, it was 5. Okay. I have to get this next one right. Otherwise, I'm out of replays to cast. What the hell? No, that way. High Elves versus Beastmen or Lizardmen versus Beastmen? Honestly, High Elves. Well, Lizardmen. It's great. Okay. 4 Pterodons, 3 Saurus, 2 Skinks, Mazda, and another Stegodon. Some Centaurs, archers. Okay. Rules aside, like not the rules that I'm like I will always vote for the Beastmen. I actually would vote for the Beastmen in this one because this build is tiny, and with 3 armored dinosaurs, those are some beautiful targets for all these throwing axes. Gorbull and Torx the Brass Bull have a great time. Bray Shaman of Wilds will do fine. These archers, and I don't think these Pterodons are going to be enough. Now, he did take Harpies in the second game, so I'm guessing that those Pterodons have annoyed the crap out of him, and Salty wanted Harpies to deal with them. So I guess if I metagame it like that, I would think he loses this game and decided to change some stuff up. But on the surface, I'm going to guess that Beastmen win it, because I just like their build against what's going on. I don't love how far everything's falling behind. Like, the front line shouldn't be advancing this far without any of their backline support. We have an archer here, archer here. I mean, I guess that archer's close, but a lot of the skirmish cav isn't up near where you need it. And now it looks like some free rock drops are going to come in on these Ungor Raiders. Ungor Spearmen. They're lining up for it, but they aren't quite pulling the trigger just yet. Ah, there it comes. A decent dodge from the Ungor Raiders, but you can't dodge forever. So it does look like the Ungors are going to get shut down. Now the 3 Saurus Spears is a pretty pitiful front line for the Lizardmen. If the Beastmen could just walk past and flank them, that'll be pretty good. And then get on top of these King Cohorts with Javelin and not let them fire. Those Feral Cold Ones should just be charged and killed right here, I think. I think you should just surround them and kill them real quick. Now what's going on here? What is that at half health? Ooh, that Gorbel is getting destroyed, and Torix the Brass Bull is trying to fight Lord Mazdamundi. But I don't know how far he will get with that. We have Devolve upgraded, just lowering some melee attack down to 26. Ah, he has Harmonic Convergence, so they cancel out. Okay, so he's back to his normal. These Feral Cold Ones are going to rout off pretty soon, and that's a pretty good play. And we have all 4 of our Centaurs with throwing axes back here. But they need to be right here. So they do need to move up pretty quickly. If they focus fire, they can kill that Bastillodon quite easily. And I think that should be what they do. Even netted, they're still in range, so just keep throwing at that. Gorbel and the Bray Shaman are fine in the background, and it looks like some of the Pterodons are finally getting routed off, and somehow this one got into melee combat with those dogs. So that is a very good catch for Salty. Those Feral Cold Ones are shattered. Maybe those Centaurs throwing axes can get pulled back. But it does look like there are some nice damage being done to the Bastillodon Solar Engines, though Mazdamundi is going to heal it up. This Stegodon has been abandoned, and the Gorbel plus Torix, the Brass Bull, are dealing with that one quite effectively. And it looks like the Beastmen are coming out on top. After a bit of a rough start, it looks like the Pterodons have been largely dealt with. Maybe the Ungor Raiders will rally, but it looks like they are about to be pounced on. Either way, Pterodons are taking a lot of damage. Centaurs are getting their throwing axes in onto Mazdamundi, though. Charging into melee is maybe not what I would do with them at this point. Definitely just want to use your throwing axes and whittle them down just like this. This is a good play, though. If you can dodge that banishment, that would also be ideal. The Ancient Stegodon is getting killed quite effectively by the double Minotaur characters. And the Spearmen should probably fight off those Pterodons and keep the archers safe, that the archers are going to run, because they are quite cowardly. What can the Lizardmen do? I mean, just withstand, I guess. They can just try to withstand all of this. Beastmen need to make sure all of their ammo go into the big armored dinosaurs, but if the Lizardmen can out-heal it or something like that, then they can definitely just stand and fight for the rest of this game. Though that Stegodon is routed, and I doubt it'll come back. Ungor Spearman Herd appears to be right on top of that. And it looks like Torix and the Gorbel are coming in from Mazdamundi. Balance of power is going significantly against the Lizardmen. And I love Bob Tresh, but I also love going to bed. So I am happy to see the Lizardmen fall. And I'm happy to see the Beastmen win their, like, 7th goddamn game in a row. Ugh. Screw you, Beastmen. Though a lot of Beastmen players hang around my Discord, so I guess I should love the Beastmen, but screw the Beastmen. Shit's broken. Alright. We did it. We did it. Cool. Centaurs throwing axes all got good value. Mazdamundi got good value. Other than that, it was a bit of a struggle. And yeah. I did it. Okay. What to say at the end of this? How long have we been going? Too long. The channel, I guess. So, you know, if you just came here to watch the replays and have some fun at my expense, that's fine. You should probably go now-ish, because I'm just going to bitch for a second. Since the patch, the game's been struggling a lot, and I'm sure all you know that. And it sucks. It sucks because I like the game a lot, and I like the channel, and I feel like the channel's been growing despite the, you know, lack of player enthusiasm. But I do have 2 more tournaments coming up, and I really hope people interact with them. Yeah, I guess I just hope people sign up for tournaments, even if they're not playing all the time anymore. Because, I don't know, it's just, it's sad to see the community go. But I did put a poll on my channel if people wanted me, because I can't tell. I've had 1 or 2 people talk to me about, oh, there's no serious tournaments left that are any good. All the tournaments that are around are kind of jokey. And I get that. I don't think Turin's hosted a lot of stuff recently. I don't think HW's hosted a lot of stuff recently. Rubber Ducks hosted a few things, but not a ton. Logic has some Battle Manias and King of the Hills. I guess BBB Cool Umbrella's still been hosting some things, but there's just not a lot of events out there. So, if you want different content, you know, let me know. Be on my Discord and just shout at me about whatever you want to happen, but I don't know. I prefer not to just quit the game until Warhammer 3. I don't think that's best for the scene, but we'll see. We'll see if anybody wants to play, but it kind of sucks because even Anticity is hosting a tournament right now, and I think it has 5 people signed up, and it happens tomorrow. And if Anticity can't even get people to play, that's pretty tough. So, anyway, if you're out there, I hope you play. I hope you participate in some tournaments, because it's a lot of fun to host them, but it can be tough when some of the tournaments are like, oh, we got 6 people, and it's like, man, I remember when ECLs used to have like over 60, and it'd be nice. Like, I think it'd be nice if I could have a tournament get up to 16 people. I think that's my goal for now. Anyway, that was a long rant at the end there, but you all have a great night, and stay safe.